Hello and welcome back to Cute Pixel. Today I'm continuing my software development stream series, continuing my work on my open source Twitch Craps bot or Twitch Craps chat bot. Those of you who have connected to the stream already, you can see that that game is playing in chat right now. I've made a simple Craps bet and I'm waiting for that to be resolved. Figured I'd let that run while the stream was starting. This is my stream schedule today. Right now, I'm working on open source software development, continuing my work on my Twitch Craps table chatbot. I have 2 streams scheduled over the next week. I have one on Tuesday, February 19th. That'll start at 2 p.m. My local time zone is Pacific Standard Time. The next stream after that will be 1 week from today, Sunday, February 24th at 9 a.m. I will start my stream as I always do by glancing at the work I've been doing during the past stream and kind of review where we're going next. So last week, the last stream was Sunday a week ago. We added a player guide. So that's like the help command. Just say craps help and it'll link you to a player guide. Actually, no. This is just the document that we added into GitHub. This is to add the help command. We replace balance with help in the example craps command. So let's actually bring up that player guide here so we can see what we're talking about. Here we go. We have a link to Craps Basics. I'm going to bring that up here so I can go through that later. Play overview. Command to the bot. Start with Craps. Example Craps help. Plays best using the Craps bet command. Example Craps bet pass 1. The bot will continue to roll dice as long as there are bets remaining. So that's what's happening right now, is the dice will roll automatically. Right now it's once a minute, and the dice will continue to roll as long as there is a bet left to resolve. Also, if there's a point, if there's still a point, it'll keep rolling until we have no point. And there's the commands. We've got Craps help, Craps balance, and Craps bet. And here's the bets we have working right now. Pass and don't pass are the 2 we have working. So that is the help. Oh, we've added logic to save player balances. So now when we run the bot for a while and then quit, those balances are saved. I'll show that in chat here. And that my balance is now saved as 300. My available balance is 299 because that's what I am, because I have $1 on the table. So I have 299 available to bet. We've updated the rule from it, and I simplified that a little bit, and lastly we added the don't pass bet. We have a bunch of bets I want to continue to add. Come, don't come, odds, place, field, hardways, all sorts of fun bets there. I think I want to reverse the order of this. I think I want to do odds first. I'm going to put odds first, then we'll look at come, don't come. In fact, what I think I'll do is this. We'll say come, don't come, come, odds, don't come, odds. Just to make it nice and simple. Other things I want to do, I want to handle uppercase commands. So if somebody types in, craps with a capital C, that is still recognized. And no, I lost my bet. The point was 8, and we hit 7 before I hit the 8, and I lost my money. So here we want to handle uppercase commands, or if somebody says craps bet something, just handle the uppercase stuff. So I want to do like a 2 lower on all that. Let's see, I want to add in more help messages. So if you say craps without any sort of command, it'll actually give you some help. Let's say you must specify a command for help, type in craps help. But if you say craps foo, give it an invalid command, it doesn't say any help. So I think for basic cases like that where you give it an invalid command, I want to add in help messages for unrecognized commands. So add in help message for unrecognized command. The other thing I want to do is add in point display to the roll output. So those of you who watched the initial play while the stream was getting started, you saw that it just displayed the roll, but you didn't see the point. So if you connected in the middle of that, you wouldn't know what the point is. And so my thought is to add that point display to the roll so anyone can see what the point is at any given time. And hello, Steve Void 1990. Welcome back to the stream. How's it going? So I think those are the three things I want to focus on first, and then I'm going to start moving on to the rest of those bets. Yeah, so let's give this first one a try. So handle uppercase commands. We could just do some simple testing here. If I say, craps help, that's not going to respond at all because it doesn't recognize the uppercase craps command. If I say craps help with an uppercase H, it recognizes craps but doesn't recognize the uppercase help. So that's kind of the first thing I want to address. Now let's go take a look. First, let's go ahead and stop the bot that's been running. And let's get this started. Alright, so what did we say here? We want to handle uppercase commands. This is actually going to be in this file, the Twitch integration. And we have client on chat. Yeah, so if message starts with craps, so here we need to start the very process. And my thought was to do... let's see here. I could say var command is equal to message dot, I think it's to lower. I want to check that. I think I do a to lower in here somewhere. Let me just see if I could find it. To lowercase. Our command is equal to message.to lowercase, and then we can replace message with command. Let's give that a try. Yeah, so if I just try the uppercase craps, let's see what it does. Excellent, you must specify a command for help, craps help, so let's try craps help with an uppercase H. And links us to the player guide, and if you click that, that actually links to the guide I brought up earlier. And yes, I just confirmed that is still the case, updated 7 days ago. And it is the updated version. I did not link to a specific version, so this will always link to the most recent version of this file. So that is handy. So that's a nice simple change. Ignore case when processing chat commands. That'll be more appropriate there. And I'll clear out the completed section from last week, and we'll start our new completed section for this week. Beautiful. So what's next? Add an help message for unrecognized command. Yes, so we have the help message that we already saw if I don't type in a command. What we don't have is a message if I have an unrecognized command. So let's go look up what that looks like here. I think this is going to be under the craps table file. We have process command, so if it doesn't start with craps in a space, that means we do not have we don't have a subcommand, so you must specify a command for help, craps help. And so I just want to replicate this for other messages here. So we have what you have to respond to the help, respond to the ballots. Else, if we don't recognize the command, say unrecognized command, and for help, craps help. So another really simple change, but just trying to build up some of these niceties here to get the bot to be a little more usable. So let's try it. We'll say Twitch. Actually, we'll say craps. And this should still have, or you must specify a command. Now let's say craps kappa, which we know is an unrecognized command. Unrecognized command for help, craps help. Excellent. So nice, real simple change there. Add in help message for unrecognized command. Perfect. What is next? We want to add in the point display to the role output. So this, I'm not going to redo the role output. I'm not going to show you the role output. Those of you who have watched this before know what that looks like, and we'll see it again here shortly. So I'm just going to go ahead and start working on this. Yes, here we go. Line 182, we have our role output. You can say point display is equal to this dot point equal to 0. So if it's equal to 0, you'll say no point. Otherwise, we will say point colon plus this dot point. And we don't need the parentheses here. So it'll just come up with a point display message. So if it's 0, that means we don't have a point. Otherwise, it just says point colon and then the actual point. And so I think my thought here is we'll say point display plus a comma followed by the role. So let's go ahead and give that a try and see what that looks like. I'll get this started by doing a simple pass line bet, craps bet pass of 1. And I'm just going to use the admin utils to force a roll here. So say craps roll to 2. No point, roll 224, new point established 4. Let's say I also want to update the formatting for the point established. Update display message when point established. Got some thoughts for what to do there. Now let's try another roll. We'll say craps roll 4. point is 4, roll 4, 4, 8. So we do not hit the point. The point is 4. We either want to hit a 4 or hit a 7. Let's go hit that 4 real fast here. We'll say craps roll 1, 3. Point 4, roll 1, 3, 4. The point was made. Okay, pixel 1. Well, lucky me. Of course, I cheated to do that. I used my my special admin powers to do that. And I think I'll leave the point established alone. This looks good, though. I like the point display. I think that looks pretty good to me. Yeah, so we've added the new variable point display. We use this kind of Boolean operator. If the point is 0, we say no point. Otherwise, we say point colon the point. And then we produce the message with the point display, comma, the roll display. Looks good. Okay, so that's kind of all of the... Oops, I actually want to move that over to my completed tasks so I can talk about that. That's all of the basic kind of infrastructure work I wanted to focus on. Up next is to continue work on all of the remaining craps bets. So first up is the odds bet. The odds bet, actually we want to say pass odds. We'll start with pass odds. And so how this works is once you have when you place a pass line bet and you roll and establish a point, you can place odds behind your pass line bet. Now those are paid out according to the exact odds of hitting that number before you hit a 7. And so there's a couple of rules. You need a pass line bet, and you need a point. And so if we look up our function for handling bets, this is nice and generic. It handles all types of bets. We pass in the type, we pass in the bets map, and then the important thing is we pass in a check function, and that's where we handle the specific logic for a certain bet. So like, we'll say the don't pass, you cannot place a don't pass bet if you already have a point. So we pass in this dpass check function, and does that check for you. You cannot bet don't pass when a point is set. And so we're going to do a similar function for odds. So let's go look that up. Let's just start thinking that through here. We'll call this, what, pass odds check. So there's a couple things. So first, we need a point. Let's see, you cannot bet. So you cannot place odds on a pass bet. Oops, let's see, if point is 0, when there is no point. Go with that. You cannot place odds on a pass bet when there is no point. The other thing we need to do is check to see if that bet exists. See, this checks the bets array, or the bets map. We're going to need, this is line 396 we want, I think it's the pass bets. If this dot pass bets dot has, let's see, we need to say if it doesn't have it. not. Odds on a pass bet without making a pass bet. We'll start with that. So you cannot place odds on a pass bet without making a pass bet. Bet if the point is 0, you cannot place odds on a pass bet when there is no point. The other thing we need to do is there's a question of how much they're able to place on that bet, on the odds bet. Craps tables will normally have a limit of how many odds you could place. Sometimes that's 2x, sometimes that's 5x, sometimes it's 10x, 100x, sometimes it's 3, 4, 5 times odds. And so we haven't decided what to do about this yet. I think I want to add in a configuration. Config template. And we could say max odds. Start with 10. And multiple of pass, don't pass bets. Let's go ahead and copy that to my local configuration. So I've got the config template and I have my local configuration. And finally, let's add that to our README so that administrators can have a chance to see what is going on here. Max odds, I think we'll just copy and paste the instructions for maximum odds that can be placed in multiple of pass, don't pass bets. I could try that. Because this pass, don't pass, come, don't come is really the underlying bet that the odds will be multiplied by. And we'll modify our template as well. Just have that documentation be the same for all 3 places. Alright, so we've got our max odds configuration, and if somebody wants to make this more forgiving, they could go larger. 100 is really a nice value of odds. If they wanted to be really restrictive, they could go 5x or even 2x. If somebody wants to do 3, 4, 5, I'll have to think through how to do that. I'm going to ignore that for the moment and just assume that it's going to be a flat multiplier. Now let's go back to the craps table and look at this function. So we have pass odds check. And we need to have something that says, well, first we need to have the bet amount. Let's pass in the amount. And we need to set this for all of the functions now. the don't pass check will ignore the amount, but since we're calling the same function regardless of what it is, we just need to update all of those functions to take in the amount now. And so let's see here. We have, so we check to see if you have a pass bet. We check to see if there is a point. Next, we need to say if amount is greater than this.passBets get username times config.maxOdds so the amount you're betting is greater than the amount you're allowed to bet. We'll just bring this over here. We need to fix this. This needs to be a return false. This is a return false. Let's see, bet exceeds your maximum odds bet of this format currency available balance. What we probably need is, let's just do this. We'll say var max bet is equal to this. Amount is greater than max bet. And we'll say bet exceeds your maximum odds bet of max bet. Those are the three checks I could think of. You need to have the pass line bet. You need to have a point. And you need to not exceed the maximum bet. Next up, let's actually add in the other stuff to support this. So let's add in, say, pass odds bets is a new map. So we have bet command. Let's see. So let's start with pass odds here. So if bet starts with, we'll call it pass dash odds, handle bet. Pass, we need to pass in pass odds. This becomes this dot pass odds bets. This dot pass odds check. We need to bind this function to the this object so that in that function we have access to all of our class variables. Then we pass in the bet, which is just the bet command string at this point. And that should do it. So we go into here and handle bet. Verifies that you specify an amount. Then we parse it, make sure we're able to parse it. We check to see if it's less than 1. Check to make sure it does not exceed your available balance, and check to make sure you have not already made that bet. We have our check function that we just configured. So let's give this a try. Go ahead. go ahead and run this and run through those basic tests here. Oh, we've got an error, unexpected identifier. Line 399. Probably forgot to do a comma after something. Forgot a comma after this earlier function. Oh, and actually, now that I'm stopped, let's actually go fix up our guide. And we'll say pass odds. Pass odds. Let's give this another try. Alright, so it's running. So let's just run through the basic checks here. So I'm going to say craps, bet, pass, odds. Just run through all the checks for the moment. I'm going to specify an amount. Alright, so craps, bet, pass, odds. That will make it something we can't parse. We'll say kappa. You must specify an amount. Well, that's weird. Perhaps bet, pass, odds, 1,000. You must specify an amount. Okay, so something is not working right here. Let's go take a look at what might be going wrong. I was not expecting that to fail, so I'm a little surprised, but it's a good thing I tested it. So if bet doesn't start with type plus a space, what the heck is going on here? I'm confused. Let's just try console.log. Say type plus type. And we'll say bet plus bet. And just see what we're getting here. Something is not working right, and I'm not sure what the issue is. So try it again. We'll say craps bet pass dash odds 1,000. Oh, crap. I know what it is. I should have realized this. I should have thought about this. What's happening is it's hitting this first because it starts with pass. And so what I need to do is do the longer version first. So let's just move this up. Say if that, else if that, and just to make the formatting work, we're just going to make this be a compound statement. Just because that's what all the other ones are going to look like. Yeah, so we do the longer version first. So we check the longer name. If we don't match that, then we check the shorter name. Yeah, we'll try that and see if that works. So let's go back and try this one more time. So say craps bet pass odds with no amount, and it should complain again. Specified amount. All right, so craps bet pass odds kappa, so an amount that we can't parse. Unable to parse bet. All right, craps bet pass odds 0. Bet is too small. Craps bet pass odds 1,000, 10,000. Bet exceeds your available balance of 300. So that's all the basic checks there. Let's just run through the code and make sure that those are all the basic checks. So you must specify an amount. You've done. Unable to parse. Yep. Bet is too small. Yep. Bet exceeds your available balance. Yep. You've already made this bet. Sorry, we'll have to check that in a second, but we'll go through the next checks first. So the next checks are... you cannot place odds on a pass bet without making a pass bet. So yeah, let's try that. So craps bet pass odds, say 10. You cannot place odds on a pass bet without making a pass bet. Let's simplify that message. Let's say, you need a pass bet first. You need a point first. Keep those messages nice and simple. Let's try this one more time. Go to the same one as before. Say craps bet pass odds 10. You need a pass bet first. Excellent. So let's add a a pass bet. Let's say craps bet pass 1. And now we'll say craps bet pass odds of 10. You need a point first. Excellent. Let's go establish a point. I'll use my god abilities. Say craps roll 1, 3. So we have no point. Roll 1, 3, 4. New point established 4. Now we'll say craps bet pass odds of 1. Let's see. I think my balance is 300, so we'll say 200. Bet exceeds your maximum odds bet of 1,000. Wow. We need formatting on that, so let's add some formatting. Yeah, I had formatting, but I made that go away. Let's fix that. Bet exceeds your maximum odds bet of blank. Now let's try this one more time. So as before, we'll establish a pass line bet. So craps bet pass of 1. And now say craps bet. Well, and now we need to establish a point. So let's go establish a point. We'll say craps roll, use my admin powers to force a roll here. Set a point of 4. Say craps bet pass odds. And we want to do 200 again. Bet exceeds your maximum odds bet of 10. Yeah, so now if I do craps bet pass odds of 11, just to kind of test the edge conditions here. Bet exceeds your maximum odds bet of 10. All right. And now we'll do a real bet. Craps bet pass odds 10. Bet made. Excellent. And now let's test if we can duplicate the bet. It should give an error about that. Craps bet pass odds 10. We've already made this bet. Excellent. So all the betting seems to be working. We don't have the logic for how to handle a win result or even a lose result. So we need to think through how to handle that. That logic is going to be in the roll handling. We've got this process roll function. And so if we have no point, well, this doesn't matter. It's only thing that really matters is we have a point. So if we have a point, we check to see if we made the point. If we do, the pass odds will win. If we 7 out, the pass odds will lose. It looks like the bot is going to roll in the background, so I'll let that continue to roll. If anyone wants to play with that, they can do so. Only some basic stuff works, though. But I find allowing it to run for a little while just allows me to see potential bugs that I may have not spotted before. Yeah, so if the point was made, we're going to need to process bets, and we could do like a bet won or a bet lost. Except if we look at bet won and bet lost, they're not exactly what we need. Well, bet lost is, but bet won is not. Yeah, so bet won. So these functions return the amount that is won or lost. So if you've won, you just return your bet and you've won that amount. If you lost, we return the negative of your bet amount, and that's how much you've lost. Now, odds actually pay out the true odds of hitting the number. Let's actually look up the craps help document so I can show you what this looks like. For updates, blah, blah, blah. Pass odds. So odds of zero house edge. It's not explaining how those bets work yet. About odds and whatnot, and ads. I thought it would have told me how those pay out. The odds pay 2-1 on points of 4 and 10, 3-2 on a 5 and 9, and 6-5 on a 6 and 8. And so here, if you have odds on a 4 or a 10, you get paid $2 for every $1 you put on it. For a 5 and 9, you get $3 for every $2 you put on it. And for a 6 and 5, you get $6. For a 6 and 8, you get $6 for every $5 you put on it. And so we need a more elaborate function here. And we could expand this to say odds 1. Odds 1, and the bet. And so what we need to do is return bet. Let's see. Say if this dot point. Well, let's see. A switch might be easier here. Let's just do a switch. Switch this dot point. Hopefully this works. We'll say case 4 and case 10. I think I'm screwing this up. I think it's case 4 colon case 10 colon return bet times 2. And let's see, we have 5 and 9. And what do those do again? We say 2 to 1 on 4 and 10, 3 to 2 on a 5 and 9. So bet times 3 divided by 2. And then we have finally on 6 and 8. Let's see, that was what again? 6 to 5. So we want 6 divided by 5. And then we want a default here of, I don't know, really should never get here. And how do I throw an exception in JavaScript? Well, first let me try a couple things. Let me look up a switch statement, make sure I've formatted my switch statement correctly. We have switch expression, case, colon, colon, colon. That looks good. So now we'll say JavaScript throw. Throw statement throws a user-defined exception. Execution of the current function will stop. And we can just throw a string, okay? Say unrecognized point. And then we don't have a return here because we're just going to return before we get there. So that's the odds 1 bet. And hopefully all that logic works. We'll test that, but I'm pretty sure that JavaScript will have fall through for switch. Because every other language I've worked with does. I'd be surprised if JavaScript doesn't. And wow, that bet I made is continuing to function over there. Just continuing to wait for either that 4 or that 7. Not that it really matters, just it's not important. So this is what happens if the odds wins. And so we need the point to remain set. So let's go look up how we handle processing bets here. Yeah, so if we have a point... Okay, yeah, so this is where it gets a little tricky. Oh good, we made the point. I've won! Woohoo! This is where it gets a little tricky. So we have these process bets, and we have this reset of the point. And so I think we want to move... We need the point to be set while we're processing the bets, especially the odds bets. I'm going to move that down. We'll say the point was made. We'll reset the point, but first we'll process bets. So let's say this dot pass odds bets. Instead of bet 1, it is odds 1. Realign all of this here. Next up is if you 7 out, we want to lose. So let's go grab this again. We'll process the this odds bets, and the function is still bet lost. So when you lose, it's just the same thing. You just lose your bet, but winning is special. Plus, we should probably adjust our standard here. So we'll reset the point and display the message after we process the bets. Let's just look at all the other bets here, all the other bet handling, and see where we're at here. So we come up with the die total, the point display. We produce our message. If we don't have a point, we just process the bets. There is no adjustment to the point here. 7-11 is a flat-out winner. 2-3-12 is a flat-out loser. 12 is a push for the don't pass. We establish a point. There is no bet processing here, so we're good. I think everything else is set. So we process all the bets, we reset the point, output the message, so that looks good. If it's 7, we process all of our bets, basically reversing the logic. Reset the point and say 7 out. Here we have the logic for checking to see if we keep the timer running. Looks pretty basic here. So I think we're good. Let's give this a try. The only concern I have is I think I might need to bind the this context to those function calls, because we're actually using the point now, and that's been a problem before. So let's try this and see what that looks like. So first, let's go place a pass line bet. Say craps bet pass of 1. Bet made. And now let's do a roll. We'll say craps roll 1, 3 to force a point of 4. And now let's place a pass odds bet. So craps bet pass odds of 10. Now let's force a loss. If we lose, we should lose 11. So we'll say craps roll 3, 4 just to force a loss here. Excellent. So we lost 11. What's our balance now? Goes 301 before, so it should be 290. Excellent. So now let's do the same thing. We'll say craps bet pass of 1. Say craps roll 2, 2. So we have the point of 4. Craps bet pass odds of 10. And now let's win. Say craps roll 1, 3 to hit that winner. Oh, we have a crash. Unrecognized point. So that was my fear. I think what's happening is that it's coming up undefined. We can actually check that. Let's go check that real fast here. As an odds one, let's just print out the point. We'll say console.log, say point is plus this dot point. Let's go ahead and test this again. Sadly, I've got to go through some of that same stuff. Hey, Frosty, welcome back to the stream. Hey, sorry I haven't got back to your email yet. I've kind of been crazy busy over the last week. I actually had my wisdom teeth removed early in the week and just haven't had a chance to do much of anything. But I did look at your email and I saw you sent me a kind of a summary of command blocks. But I think the main question I have for what you're asking is I still don't have a really good idea as to what you're wanting to do for your game. Like, it looks like it might be like some sort of idle clicker type game, like cookie clicker or something. And so I just want an overview of kind of the game you're trying to work on and what you want, because I just don't even have a grasp as to what you're trying to do. But I'll send that via email just when I have a chance. I've just been crazy busy, so I am sorry about that. But otherwise than that, how's it going? I'm still working on my crop spot over here. Since I've got my pass line bet, I need to force a roll of 4, or doesn't really matter, just establish a point here. And let's do craps bet pass odds of 10. And let's force a winner. So craps roll 2, 2. Yeah, so the point is undefined. I do need to bind this when I call or when I pass in those functions. So let's go look up how to do that. Was it here? No, I think it's when we actually pass in the functions we do it. Yeah, so it's this dot function dot bind this. Which is a little bit annoying, but we'll get it sorted out here. Yeah, here we go. So we say this dot bet1. Yeah, this dot bet1 bind this. We'll do that for bet lost. Line all those up. And we have bet lost. Bet 1. Now we have bet 1, odds 1, bet lost. So bet 1, odds 1. Bet lost. Now we have pass bets. We have lost, lost, won. So lost. Oops. So it just occurred to me that I only really need to pass. I only need to do this bind for the odds 1. I can leave it alone for everything else. Now let me think about this. Let's see, Frosty says, again, don't worry, it's been paused for a while. People can wait longer, so quick rundown. Mine upgrade, get an upgrade, the auto miner, mob farm, enchant pickaxe, give opponents debuff, buff yourself, clear buff, be the first. Yeah, so it does look like it's a bit of an idle clicker style game. So cool. Let me just make a note of that, and I will. I'll send you a more detailed email. Cool. Yeah, I'll get back to that when I have a little more time. Yeah, so back to this. I think we only need to do the bind for the... Oops, and I lost my clipboard. Oh well, that's fine. I'll get it back. Only need to do the binding for the odds win. That's why I had odds win in here. Odds 1. Odds 1. There it is. Frosty says, idle clicker with more elements to hold, click on, and attack. Alright. Yeah, so I'll swap this out with this odds 1. And I think that'll work. Because that's the only one that really needs to be bound. Everything else doesn't matter. Which I think I'll keep it nice and simple. If I really wanted to line things up, I could do this. Which, I don't know, this is getting somewhat neurotic, but we'll leave it for the moment. Let's give that a try. So as before, we need to place our bet. Frosty says also has a race aspect. That is, if there's more than 2 players, most points wins. Okay. Yeah, so probably what I will ultimately need is kind of a set of stories that describes the game. You know, basically things like, what do players do? What are the basic things? Well, probably first, what is the overall objective of the game? How do you get points? How do you win? How do you lose? What actions do players do during the game? You've talked about your mine, upgrade. You got to upgrade the auto miner. What does the auto miner do? What does the mob farm do? There's a lot of questions that I don't really have good answers to. So that's kind of the stuff I'll address during email. And so I'll probably just take that to email because it's going to be too hard to do that over chat, and it's distracted me quite a bit from the craps bot I'm working on. That's just kind of the overview of the type of thing I'll be looking for is a more thorough description of how the game is played and all the aspects of it. We'll place a craps pass bet of 1. Let's establish a point of 4. Then we'll say craps bet pass odds of 10. And now let's win that bet. We'll say craps roll 2-2. What was made? I should win $21. So let's check my balance. 311. Woohoo! So that's if I win a bet of 4. Let's do the same thing for a point of 10. Craps bet pass 1, and craps roll 5-5 to set a point of 10. Craps bet pass odds. I will go with 1. I want to test a couple of things here. So I should win 3 when I do this. We'll say craps roll 5-5, and I should win 3 now. Excellent. So next up is the point of 5. So we'll say craps bet pass 1. I do apologize for all the chat spam here. It's just tough to test a chat bot without spamming the chat channel. I suppose I could always open up my queued test channel and test there, but this allows you guys to play with the bot if you want. Now we want to establish a point of 5, so say 2, 3. Point of 5. Now I'll say craps bet pass odds of 1. And now let's win that point. Say craps roll 2, 3. 250. So I won the $1 for my original bet, and then I got $1.50 for the odds because it pays $3 for every 2. Well, I bet 1, so I get $1.50 for that. That's why I'm getting the $2.50. So that's why I wanted to test, is to make sure that I can support and display fractional amounts, which looks like that does indeed work. Excellent. Craps bet pass of 500. Exceeds your available balance of 316.50. Excellent. So all that stuff works. So that was a 5. Let's establish a point of 9 and make sure that works as well. So craps, bet, pass, 1. Craps, roll 4, 5. Craps, bet, pass, odds of 1. And craps, roll 4, 5. I get paid another $2.50, so that should even out my balance. Check my craps balance here. Oh, that works. Last up is the 5 and, or sorry, the 6 and 8. So we'll do another craps bet pass of 1. And craps roll 3, 3 for the point of 6. New point established 6. Now let's do craps bet pass odds of 1. Craps roll 3, 3 just to do that win. Won $2.20, so I won $2, or sorry, $1 for the pass line, and $1.20 for the odds, because again, the odds on 6 and 8 pay $6 for every 5. And so I got $1.20 for my $1 bet. So the fractional stuff does indeed work. That's great. Which I already knew, but I just like testing it for all these different settings. Finally, let's do an 8. So say craps bet pass 1. Craps roll 4, 4 to get a point of 8. And let's say pass odds. We'll say 4, so I can balance out my balance here. Reset my balance to an even number. Craps bet, or not bet, let's do another roll of 4, 4. And I won $5.80, so I got $1 for my my pass line bet, and then $4.80 for my odds bet of $4. And the balance should now be even. Oops. I keep forgetting I need to pass in the craps command there. 327. Excellent. So that all seems to be working just fine. Yeah, I think we're pretty good. I think the odds bet is working. I've tested what happens if you lose. I've tested what happens when you win. I've tested all of the points. Oh, I do have this one debugging thing I want to get rid of. Because we're printing out the point every time we process the odds bet, and that's obviously not something we want to do. So let's go clear that up. Perfect. I think we're at a pretty good point here. Let's go take a look at the code. So I've changed quite a few things here. We'll just go through these things in order. So the craps table JavaScript, we've added the pass odds bets map data structure. That's where we store the odds bets per player. We've added the odds 1 function. This produces how much you win when you hit your odds bet. So 4 and 10 is 2 to 1. 5 and 9 is 3 to 2. 6 and 8 is 6 to 5. And we have this default in here just in case something really weird goes on. It shouldn't happen, but I like to be defensive when I'm coding. Then we've updated our processing for these things here. Oh yeah, so we've moved the bet processing up. So the point is set when we process our odds bet. Then we've added in our odds bets with odds 1. If we 7 out, We've also moved our bets up, or bet processing up, just to be consistent. We've added in a lose on odds bets. We've updated our bet handling logic for how to place bets. We've added in this new pass odds check. And we call in our handle bet, we pass in pass odds, and we pass in our new pass odds check function that I'll talk about in just a second. And we reformatted how we handle the pass bet, just so that's a consistent formatting there. And so we've added the amount to our check function because our odds check needs to check the amount as well. That's why we added that. Our dpass check, we've added amount. We don't actually do anything with amount, so we've just added it, but we don't use it. And here we have our new pass odds check function. We check to make sure that you have a pass bet, so if you don't have a pass bet, we complain. We check to see that you have a point. If you don't have a point, we complain. And then we check our max odds. We've added a configuration for max odds. You can see that down below. We said that 10x max odds is what we've configured, is what we will allow. And so we compute our max bet. We take your pass bet, multiply that by the max odds, and if you exceed that, we complain. Bet exceeds your maximum odds bet of blank. Otherwise, all that's good. We return true and allow the bet to be made. We've added our configuration, max odds. Our default configuration is 10. Multiple of don't pass come bets. Then we've updated our guide to add in pass odds to our guide, and we've also updated our README to talk about max odds there as well. So I think that's all pretty good. Let's go ahead and commit that. Add support for pass odds bet. And now, since I have changed the player guide, I'm going to go ahead and push this to GitHub so the player guide gets updated. And so those who want to check out this code, it is all available on github.com/cutepixel/twitchcrapspot. And the player guide is guide.md. If you click that, it'll bring this up here. It talks about all the different bets. We've got pass odds we just added, and don't pass. So what's next? So we've got pass odds. Probably don't pass odds, I would say, is next. So let's go think through what that might look like. So this is going to be very similar to the don't pass, or sorry, to the pass odds check. Changes is you're going to need a don't pass bet first. You're still going to need a point. So let's just start coding it up here, and we'll see what we can do. I see some refactoring opportunities. We'll call this dpass odds check. So I checked don't pass, we checked the point. Max odds is a little different, and we'll need to think about this here. Or max bet is different. because the don't odds, similar to the odds bet, pay out using the exact possibility of hitting, of winning or losing. And so let's go look at the guide here for don't pass. We have the odds, we have don't pass, and laying the odds. If you bet against a point after a don't pass, odds are statistically fair with no house edge. So laying the odds against a 4 or 10 pays 1 to 2. So if you bet $2, you get paid $1. A 5 or a 9 pays 2 to 3. So if you bet $3, you get paid $2. And a 6 or 8, for every $6 you bet, you get paid $5. So it's the exact opposite. And so normally what casinos will do is they'll allow you to place, if it's like 10 times odds, they'll allow you to place so you will win the 10 times odds. So if you have a 4 or a 10 and the odds are 10 times, you're actually allowed to bet 20 times your original bet, so that way you can win 10 times. For a 5 or a 9, you're allowed to bet, I think, 15 times your original bet, so you can get paid 10 again. And then for 8 or 6, you're allowed to bet, I think, 12 in this case, to get paid 10. So we need to do some math, and we're going to need to do a similar switch on this stuff here. So let's go grab that switch from odds 1. It just occurred to me that there's a refactoring we can do here. Let's, well, can I? I think so. Let's try it. Let's just, let me just try something here. So we have odds 1, we could say odds factor, the odds multiplier, get, and I'll just say odds multiplier. So instead of saying switch point, or this point, we'll say that. Return 2. Return 3 divided by 2. Return 6 divided by 5. And then we could say return this dot odds multiplier times bets. Oh, and we need to pass in the point. This dot point. And the reason why I'm passing in the point rather than allowing it to just look up the point in the class, in the this instance, is this will allow me to use this for other situations, such as the come bets. The come bets are independent of the current point, so that'll be more useful for me. And I think what this will allow me to do is simplify this down here. we say max bet is equal to this dot don't pass bets times config dot max odds times this. So for a 4 and 10, this will be 2, so that'll be 2 times 10 times your bet. So if you bet 1, you can now bet 20, so that will work. That exceeds your maximum odds bet of... I think that'll work. And so there's one common element here, which is point check. You need a point first. And we could say, let's just add in a function here. We'll say odds point check. We'll yank this section out. We'll say if this dot odds point check username. Let's just pass in username. We don't need the amount here. So if that returns false, then we will return false. And that allows us to simplify this as well. So it's looking for that duplicate code and killing that duplicate code. Let's go look up that odds point check function again. We need to return true at the end of this. So I think that is good. We'll obviously test all this and make sure this works. Let's go back to our bet handling. So we have pass odds, pass. We have dpass. So let's go add in dpass odds before dpass. Else if bet starts with dpass odds. Odds, I'll do dpass odds check. So I think that'll allow us to place those bets. I think now's a good time to run through that bet placing logic just to make sure I haven't screwed up anything there. So let's go ahead and give that a try. So we'll start with the basics. We'll say craps bet. This will be won't place a bet at all. I'm sorry, which bet you wish to make. So craps bet dpass odds. I'm going to specify an amount. Craps bet dpass odds kappa. And we'll parse bet. Then let's go with a low amount, say 0. Bet is too small. What else? We can exceed my balance. We'll go with 1,000. I know that's larger than my balance there. Exceeds my available balance of 327. All right. What other checks do we have here? So we've done amount. I'm able to parse. bet exceeds our value. You've already made this bet, so we'll test that once we have a bet already made. In the meantime, we have pass odds, so you need a pass bet first. So if we go ahead and make this bet, a reasonable bet, we'll say 10. We need a pass. Oh, I need to fix that. We need a don't pass bet first. And let's actually fix up the formatting here. Don't pass. Need a pass. Now let's actually make these lowercase, because that's what I did before. I just scrolled up for a second to look at this, and I had it lowercase. I'm going to keep these all lowercase. We need a don't pass bet first. Let's go ahead and give that a test. So we said 10 of that. Yeah, we'll try 10 again. You need a don't pass bet first. Yeah, let's go bet don't pass of 1. And now we'll say again, bet of 10. You need a point first. So let's establish a point of 4. And now let's see. Let's exceed our maximum allowed stuff. So I think we should have a max of 20. So let's bet 100. Bet exceeds our maximum odds bet of 20. So now let's bet 20. Craps bet. Oh, I got it in my clipboard here. Deep pass odds of 20. We'll try 21 just to make sure the edge case works, and now we'll try 20. Bet made. And now if I try to make that bet a second time, it should complain that the bet already exists. Excellent. So placing the bet for a point of 4 works. Let's try a point of 10. So let's reset our roll here. We say craps roll 2-2 just to clear out that that point. 139. That's weird. Something's not working right. Let's, because I shouldn't have won anything there. I should have won just the $1 on the don't pass. So something's broken. And I think I'm passing in the wrong data structure for the don't pass odds. Yep, I pass in pass odds bets, but I need to pass in don't pass. So let's actually go fix that. And I shouldn't have won. So let's see, we've tested a 4. Let's go test a 10. So I need to bet a don't pass of 1. Let's roll and get a point of 10. And now let's check the maximum we're allowed to bet. This should again be 20. Oops. Cannot read property has of undefined. Okay. Have I not added the data structure yet? Not yet. I have not. Let's try this one more time. So we'll bet a craps bet the pass of 1. Craps roll 5-5. Craps bet the pass of 100. Or D-pass odds, actually. D-pass odds. Excuse me, maximum odds bet of 20. And so let's go ahead and bet 20 for that. And let's lose. Craps roll 5-5. So I should lose my 1, but I haven't coded in losing for the don't pass odds yet. So we're fine. I'm just ignoring that for the moment. So that was the point of 4 and the point of 10. Let's test the point of 5. So we'll say craps bet D pass of 1. Craps roll 2-3. This should be 15, I think. You've already made this bet. I'll need to reset this then. So again, point of 5. Say craps bet D pass 1. Craps roll of 2-3 for a point of 5. Craps D pass odds, we'll say 100. These are maximum odds bet of 15. So let's go bet 15. Excellent. Now let's test 9. I'll have to reset again. So D-pass odds. Oops, I want to do a D-pass of 1. Craps roll 4-5 for a point of 9. I should again say 15. Yep. And so we don't place in the work, so I'm just going to run through that here. We'll say craps roll. It's 9, 4, 5. Just to get rid of that. We'll say make another pass bet of 1. And we need 6. So let's do a craps roll 3-3. Pass of 100, so this should be a maximum bet of 12, I think. 12, yeah. Now let's make that point. Say craps roll 3-3. Place a new D-pass bet of 1. Establish a new point of 8. And exceed this. Exceed the don't pass odds. Should be a limit of 12. So excellent. All that seems to be working. Let's complete that point. And the last thing I want to check here is let's just do a quick check on winning the pass odds. So let's do a craps bet pass of 1. Craps roll 2-2. Craps bet pass odds of 10. Craps roll 1-3. So we should win 21 here. Excellent. Alright, so I need to fix up, or we need to add in logic for how to process a don't pass odds winning and losing. We need both of those to be in place. And I just realized there's a function that I need to modify, I think, get available balance. Okay, so we have pass bets, D pass bets. We need to add in the odds. Let's see. So we have pass odds bets, D pass odds bets. Go ahead and line this up. Pass odds bets, D pass odds bets. Alright, so now we need to think through how to handle a odds bet winning, a don't pass odds winning. I think we have our logic here. We have odds multiplier, which we'll use, bet 1, odds 1, bet loss. So we have odds 1. So I probably want pass odds 1. So we'll look for odds 1. Say pass odds 1. Now we need D pass odds 1. So rather than multiplying the multiplier, I think we do a divide. We say bet divide by that. So bet divide by the multiplier. And I think that'll work. Now let's go look up at our die roll processing. So if we don't have a point, nothing changes. The only thing that changes is when we have a point. Let's go down to where we have a point. We check to see if the point was made. So if the point was made, the pass odds win. The pass odds lose. The pass odds bet loses. If we 7 out, the opposite occurs. Let's just grab this. So this D pass odds bets. D pass odds 1. And that should be enough. So let's go give that a try. As before, we need to make a D pass bet, so let's say craps bet D pass of 1. Establish a point of 4, so let's say craps roll 2, 2. Say craps bet D pass odds. Should be 20, we'll just test this real fast. Yeah, excuse me, maximum odds bet of 20. So craps bet D pass odds 20. And so if I win this, I should get 11 back. And so to win, I actually need to force a loss. So let's go roll a 7 here. Say craps roll 3, 4. 7 out. I won 11. So that all seems to work. Now let's test a loss. Let's try craps balance. Make sure all my balances have been reset. Excellent. Now let's bet another don't pass. So say craps bet don't pass of 1. And we'll make this a win. So let's say craps roll 2, 2. Craps bet D pass odds of 20. Well, let's check balance at this point, make sure that available balance is working. I forgot about that. My balance is 394, but my available balance is 373 because I have the don't pass of 1 and the don't pass odds of 20. That looks good. Now let's cause it to win, or lose in my case. So craps roll to 2. I should now lose $21. Excellent, so all that stuff seems to be working. There's a couple other things to address here. We've got the guide. So we'll fix this up and say D-pass odds. So we don't pass odds. And I think we're at a good commit point. So I've added our new data structure, our don't pass odds map data structure, where we store the don't pass odds bets. I've got available balances. I should have modified this earlier, but I've caught it up to where we are now. I've added in the pass odds bets and the don't pass odds bets. Bet 1. What the heck here? Oh, this is because I did my odds multiplier, so the diff is a little weird, but I've added the odds multiplier function, and it looks very similar to what the odds 1 looked like. Here I just returned the multiplier for odds based on the specified point. So 4 and 10 is a multiplier of 2, 5, 9 is a multiplier of 3 halves, point of 6, 8 is a multiplier of 6 fifths. And then here's the same bet 1 function, just moved down a little bit. Pass odds 1 got a lot simpler because we just call in the odds multiplier and multiply it by our bet. D-pass odds 1 is our bet divided by the multiplier. And here we have our bet processing. Here we've basically added in the don't pass odds bets we lose if we make our point, and here we win if we 7 out. We've added in bet processing, we've added in D-pass odds, and we place that before D-pass, because D-pass odds starts with D-pass, so we need to do the longer version, which we need to check that first. We did a small refactoring. I found that we do the point check for both types of odds. Both pass odds and D-pass odds, we needed to do the point check, so I made a small little function to do that. Refactored the pass odds. I added some formatting there around that error, and we call this function rather than do that check ourselves. The formatting is a little weird here. I'm not sure what's going on. Then here we've added the don't pass odds check. So here we check to make sure that you need a don't pass bet first. We do the point check. We do max bet is equal to max odds times the odds multiplier. So again, for 4 and 10, you can bet 20 times. For a 5 and 9, you can bet 15 times, and 6 and 8, you can bet 12 times. And then I guess the diff is a little weird, but we do the rest of that check there. And then finally, we've added the don't pass odds to our player guide. So I'm going to go ahead and commit to this whole thing and go ahead and push that. So add support for don't pass odds bet. I'll go ahead and push that. And those who want to look at this code on your own, this is all available on my GitHub repository, github.com/cutepixel/twitchcrapspot. And this is the player guide. I'll refresh this, and we should see our don't pass odds show up. There we go. Perfect. But nice if there's a way of lining this up, but I'm ignoring that. There's limits to the amount of work I'm willing to do to get this stuff sorted. There might be like a table thing I could do for Markdown. I'm just not sure, but I'm not going to bother. It'd be nice if we could do something similar for this as well, but again, I'm not going to bother. All right, what's next? So we have come and don't come, come odds, don't come odds, place, field, hardways. Come is next. And so let's think about the come bet. So the come bet is basically identical to the pass line bet in terms of functionality, in that you place it. If you roll a 7 or 11, you win. If you roll a 2, 3, or 12, you lose. Any other number, a 4, 5, 6, or 8, 9, 10, becomes the point for that come bet. And then you need to hit that point again before you roll a 7. The only real issue is the come bet is only available when you already have a point. So if you don't have a point, you simply place the pass bet. But if you do have a point, you can place a come bet, and you basically get an identical bet to the pass line. Identical in function. So let's think through that logic here. Let's see, so we need a point. So we can make use of this point check. And we could make this nice and generic. We could say point check. Let's go ahead and move this up. So it's kind of a generic function. We'll say point check. Odds point check. We'll see who calls the old version, and we'll simply adjust them to call the new version. So I think I want to format these functions to be in the same order that they're called. Like we have, well, let's just look up the list here. We have pass odds pass, d-pass odds d-pass. So let's go d-pass, or do pass odds first. So pass odds first, then pass if there was one, but there isn't. Then d-pass odds, which we have. And then d-pass. I'll add the comma here. So that way when we do the come check, it'll be at the very end. Assuming we need one, we may not need a specific come check. And I think the only check we have to make with regards to come is, do we have a point? Yeah, I think that's all we need, so... I think we are going to add in amount back. I know we had taken that out before, but let's add it back. paste it in. So the reason for that is because when I add in the check for the come bet, I can just call that point check function. So I add this at the very end. We'll say else if bet starts with come. Stop come bets. And then we call, I think it's point check. Now let's add in come bets. So now we'll just test the logic to place a come bet. Basically run through all the error handling that we've done before just to make sure that all that still works. So we'll just run through that basic test logic here. So we'll say, oops. Craps bet. We won't specify a bet at all. Should complain, you must specify which bet you wish to make. All right. Craps bet. We said come. We won't specify an amount. You must specify an amount. Craps bet come kappa. And we'll parse bet. Craps bet come 0. Bet is too small. Craps bet come. Let's do a large one. 1,000 should be larger than my amount. My balance. Bet exceeds your available balance of 373. Say craps bet come 1. You need a point first. All right. So let's go establish a point. Doesn't really matter. Craps roll 2 2. I'll say craps bet come of 1. Bet made. Craps bet come 1 again. We've already made this bet. All right. So let's go modify a couple things here. First, we need to handle the available balance. So let's test that. If I say craps balance, it's not going to show me my correct available balance because it doesn't account for the come bets. There's another thing I noticed, or I just realized that we haven't handled, which is when we decide whether or not to keep rolling, we don't check that. So we have pass bets, D-pass. I'm just going to grab all of these here for the moment. So we have pass bets. We need to pass odds bets. This should be pass odds bets. We have D pass. We also need D pass odds bets. D pass odds bets. And I see the crap spot is just continuing to roll in the background. Should probably stop it while I'm testing here. It's kind of broken for the moment. So we have dpass odds, and finally we need combet. Pass odds, dpass odds, oh, I misspelled come. So that works. We'll test the available balance when we run our next test here. I'm pretty comfortable that's going to work. And this looks good here. So how do we handle combets? We have logic for if we have no point. We'll handle come bets. Bets. And the logic's going to be the same. So you'll check to see if we have a come bet winner. In this case, come bets win. All come bets win. Then check to see if we have a come bet loser. Now what happens if we don't have, if we roll anything else? So if we roll a 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, we need to take the come bet and move that to another data structure. We could just try this, come 4 bets. We have 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. I'm not sold about that yet, but we will we'll see. Say if die total is equal to 4. Let's just look up map functions, JavaScript map. Clear, delete. Clear and delete. clear removes all elements from the map. What does delete do? Removes the specified element. Alright. This is going to be a little bit ugly, and I'll have to think through if there's an easy way to refactor this. Alright, so we have a die total of 4, so what we want to do is all the come bets for 4 will win. So let's just bring forward this here, say this process bets. This will be the come 4 bets win, and that will clear out the come 4 bets. Next up is we want to copy, or not copy, we want to move everything from the come bet structure to the come 4 bet structure. Make a process come bets, process random roll, show bet results. Let's say process come bets die total. We'll just move these things forward. This dot process bets die total, just so this function doesn't get unwieldy. It's getting kind of crazy right at the moment, just in terms of length. So this will allow me to kind of simplify that function a little bit. The next function I want to write, I also want to call process come bets, because this is going to be to handle a single come bet, but let's just, I don't know what to name it yet. We'll go foo. And this is going to take the come bets. So say this dot foo. I'll say this dot come 4 bets. So what this will do so the process bets, process bets, it'll be this, well actually no, we'll pass in the come bets structure. So this will look like, we can simplify this. So 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. So I don't have to replicate all that logic. How about process combet point? Points. Point. So process bets will clear out the combets data structure. We'll clear out this data structure, the specific data structure we pass in. Now we need to basically take all of the bets, all of the combets. See if I can do this here. Just use a copy pasta example. So for let username of this.combets.keys, we'll say combets.set, I think, and .set username, comma, this.combets dot get, I think, yeah, get username. See, Frosty says, sorry for being so quiet. I'm making the email with hopefully all the functionality. Okay, cool. Yeah, they'll give me something that'll be a little bit more for me to work with. And so, yeah, once I have a little more to work with, I can have a bit more of a detailed discussion with you about what we're talking about there. So that's great. Thank you for doing that. I'll look at that once I have a little more time. All right, so for this, we take our combets, we take the data structure that was passed in, where we're basically copying over all the combets from the main combets data structure. So we copy from here into here. Nothing else really matters here, so I can drop all of that. Can I make this a one-liner? Is that enough? Yeah, that looks good. And then I could say this.combets.clear. Yeah, so basically if you roll a number, anyone who is on that number for a combet, or has a combet on that number, wins. This will automatically clear out that structure. If we look at process bets, there it is. The very end is bets.clear, so that clears out that structure. Next up, so that clears out the structure. Next up, we take everything that is a combet and copy it into that specific data structure. And then we clear out the combets. And before I get too far, I should clean up a couple things here. So Frosty says, again, it's the lowest possible priority, so don't worry too much about it. It would be cool when it's finished, but the time frame is set to within my lifetime. It doesn't matter when. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm sure at some point I will get back around to working on Minecraft plugins, so if that's interesting enough for me, I'll take a look and we'll see what we can do. And if it's something that might be useful on my server as well, it's maybe something I'll add in. I'm still not sure exactly what the functionality is, so I'll have to look at it and see if that's something that would work on my server, but we'll see. Yeah, so I need to look for how we handle our continuation of our die roll. Yeah, so we've got this. And so let's just add one. I think is it come? Become 4 bets. And let's fix this. Fix up the alignment while I'm here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. This is getting a little unwieldy. One of the things I might end up doing is create an internal class to hold all of these bets, so it's something we can easily iterate over. I don't know. I'm not sure if there's an easy way to solve this messiness here for the moment. But it's beginning to smell. It has that bit of a code smell where it's like, I don't know. Might want to think about refactoring this so it looks better and is cleaner. I'm just not sure what that refactoring would be yet. So I'll keep thinking about that, and I'll fix it if something ever comes to mind. The other place to fix up, and the reason why this refactoring idea keeps coming to mind, is there's a second spot where I also iterate over all these guys. It's just a different type of logic, so it's a little bit different. Like we said, what, come 4 bets? Let's just double check this again. Come 4 bets. Come 4 bets. 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. And this is going to get even worse when we start tucking in the don't come and the odds for the come and don't come. We're going to have at least 4 duplicates of all of this stuff here. It's definitely going to get ugly. Alright, so come 4 bets. Let's just see where that's used. Get available balances. Yeah, and here we call in process come bet points. Alright, so we have a 7 or 11, we have a come bet winner. So if you roll a 7, all of the come bets on specific points lose. And so we need to handle that as well. Handle 7 out for, well, let's just keep this by itself. We'll say handle 7 out for come bets. So if die total is equal to 7, we need to make all the bets lose, so bet lost. This come, I think what, 4 bets? Do 3, 4, 5, 6. So all of them will lose. Let's go fix up that. So handle 7 out for combat points. Check if we have a combat winner. 7-11 is a combat winner. 2-3-12 is a combat loser. Pacific. Come. Bet. Frosty asks, by the way, do I notice that you did the ducking technique I suggested to you, or is that all in your head? No, you are not imagining it. I did do the ducking technique. I did find a way to make that work. It took me about 30 minutes of playing with OBS to figure out how it worked and get it working. But yes, I did find a way to get that working finally, so thank you very much for that suggestion. I think it worked out very well. I was quite happy with the results, so I do thank you for that suggestion. And hopefully it works. I played a little bit, I accidentally played a little bit with the volume on the music earlier today. I was testing something before I started streaming, and I didn't realize that my pretzel player was at a specific volume. So I touched it, and I didn't remember what I originally set it to, so I guessed again in the back, and I think it's the correct volume, but I may have screwed that up. Hopefully it sounds good. So I'll migrate combats to their specific points. We'll just say points. So I think we're good for combats. I think what I want to do is actually test this and see if this is working. I actually want to print out some debug information here just so we can see this in action. So say console.log, say com, and this.com. That's I think I could just print that out. Frosty says some songs are a bit overpowering, so maybe like 5% less on your desktop sound in OBS would probably level it out a little bit better. Okay, yeah. I think I'm at negative 4.9 dB on desktop audio, so I could bring that a little bit lower. Maybe try negative 7.5 dB. We'll try that for a while and let me know if that works any better. I do appreciate the feedback. It is tough for me to test this. I basically need to record locally, play it back, tweak settings, play it back, Frosty says much better. Excellent. All right, well, thank you for the feedback. I'll leave it at 7.5, and I'll make a note that those settings work well. Yeah, audio is just one of those things. There's just so many settings to tweak, and can take a long time to find kind of those ideal settings, and then you play a random song that comes on really, really, really loud, and all of a sudden it all goes all to crap again. So appreciate the feedback, and appreciate your patience while I figure out the best settings there. So we log the cum bets. Now let's log the cum 4. This is the cum 4 bets. So 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. 5, 6, 8, 9. So this is just to see how all the bets, how all of the cum bets are moving around. So allow me to verify that the logic is working properly. I'm actually tempted to move this to the end of the die roll section, so let's go ahead and do that. In fact, maybe we could put this as part of, well, how about right after process cum bets, because that's where it's really going to matter. So we'll do it there. Or we'll put it in this function. So I think we're good enough. I think what I want to also do at this point is change my configuration to go to a 30-second delay. Because I think 1 minute is just a bit lengthy. 30 seconds is probably all right, and that might even be a little too lengthy. I might go to 15 seconds at some point, but we'll see. We'll try 30 seconds for now. And I'm going to just play with the betting for a little bit and see what this does. I'm going to let it go randomly if anyone else wants to poke at it and see if they can break it. All the stuff I've been working on will be accessible. And we'll just see if we can break it and see what it does. So first, I'm going to do a simple pass line bet of 5. This will allow us to establish a point. Craps bet pass of 5. And then 30 seconds later, that will run. I wonder if there's a way I can pop out chat here. Let's see here. There is, but let me do it this way. Alright, something crashed. Here's my chat popped out so I can look at what I'm doing. But before we get that far, I've screwed up. We've got a bug, a comma instead of a period. So let's go look up at that. And I copy-pasted it, so it's broken in a dozen places. The best type of bug is one you don't catch until after you copy-paste it. So let's try again, and let's go to my pop-out chat and say, craps bet pass of 5. Then we'll wait 30 seconds for the automatic die roller to kick in, and we'll see what happens here. Okay, so it just prints out object map, but not the details of what's in it. Although, well, wait a second, we'll see what happens. So I'm going to do craps bet come of 5 now. So I want to hit the 6. And I've got the second bet working here, this come bet. Alright, so we've hit a 6. So now we have a come bet on the 6. No pass bet, so I just made a new pass bet. So we have a come bet of 6 and no pass bet. Oh no, yeah, it's clearly not working because we should have seen output on that 6. So now we have a point on the 6 and the 8. And the object map is just not working here. Well, it's working, but the output is not working at all. And so I'll need to have like a debugging thing. Well, let's continue to run. Well, I'm going to look up how to print out. So I've made my point, and I've won $5. I still have a come bet of 6 out there. And this should continue to play until that bet is either won or lost. So we'll watch that for a bit and just see how that works here. In the meantime, say JavaScript print out map. Not an HTML. Iterable. Check some maps. So we have no point. We rolled an 11, so we're still waiting for that come bet to clear. Point established 5, so we're waiting. Still, I think it's the 6, right? And we have a come bet of 6, so we're waiting for that to occur. Yeah, I'm not seeing it, so let's just add in a print map function. Map. Map to string. Say var result is equal to the empty string. Let username of map. How about key? Let key of map.keys, and we'll say results plus equals, well, let's check JavaScript string length, JavaScript string length. Okay, great. So we had a 7 out, so that ended the current roll, and then that also ended the come bet, and I lost my come bet, so that should stop the rolling now. I'll leave that. I'll let that continue to run while I look up how to do this printout here. Looks like just length, with no function calls, just a property. So if result.length is greater than 0, results plus equals comma. Results plus equals key. Key plus colon plus map.get key. Return results. We say map to string. Screwed up. I need to add a this in front of this function call. I think once again I've copy pasted it all over the place. Easy enough to fix. So let's give this a try. Go ahead and run that. Let's go to my popped out chat, place a pass line bet of 5. Wait for that to complete before I place my next bet. My next bet will be, well, assuming we set a point, my next bet will be to bet a comeback. Make a come bet. Now, even 30 seconds seems like a lot. Yeah, so we won right away. I'll do another craps pass bet, or craps bet pass of 5. But hey, at least the output is working. We don't have any come bets to output yet, but they do seem to be working. Alright, so we've established a point of 6. Now let's do craps bet come of 5. See, based on the logic I've done, I don't think the come bet map will ever have any data in it because we print out the map after we've done processing. Alright, so we lost our come bet. Let's see, I'm thinking through if we can make the delay on rolling even shorter. Right now it's 30 seconds. Could I make it like 20 seconds or 15 seconds? However, it occurred to me the potential problem with that is I think there's a limitation on sending the same message in chat within 30 seconds. So probably 30 seconds is the lowest we'll be able to go for that, if just so people aren't hit by the prohibition of sending the same thing in chat multiple times. So we have a point of 9, and now we have a come bet on the 8. So let's bet another come bet. Yeah, 30 seconds seems like it's more than enough, so I think I will make that change and commit that to make that go to 30 seconds. Alright, so we're on the 6. Our point is 9, and we have a come bet on the 6 and 8, so let's make another bet. Sorry, craps bet com 5. Let's check my craps balance. So 378, but my available balance is 358. So I have 4 bets. I've got 3 come bets and 1 pass bet. So that available balance does seem to be working there. Alright, so we've rolled a 10, so now I have bets. I've got the point of 9, and then a come bet on the 6, 8, and 10. So let's do another come bet, so craps bet com 5. The things do seem to be working just fine here. I want to actually see some come bet winners for a change. But we'll see what we can do. We rolled a 9. Our point is 9. We've made our points. Now we have come bets on the 6, 8, 9, and 10. And now we can do a craps bet pass of 5. Still want to see some of these win. Alright, so we've rolled a 4. We have established a point of 4. We have come bets on the 6, 8, 9, and 10. So let's do another come bet. Craps bet com of 5. So we rolled an 8, so we've won our 5 simoleons. We had an existing come bet, so that got moved to the 8. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this play out for a little bit and see how these things get cleared out. Everything I've seen so far looks good, though. It looks like it's working pretty good. So we still have our pass bet on the 4. We just hit our 9, so we've won our $5 on the 9. And we've cleared that come bet out. So great. Let's continue to bet comma 5. I just want to see what happens when we 7 out at this point, because we should lose a bunch when we 7 out. So we rolled a 9. So we're back on the 9. Let's set up another pass or a come bet. Craps bet, comma 5. Alright, so we rolled an 11, so we had a come bet winner there. And that did not get copied anywhere, and it did clear out the come bet as we would expect, so that is good. Yeah, so a come bet winner works. I don't know if we've seen craps, 2, 3, or 12 on a come bet yet, but those should be losers. It looks like we've rolled a 4. Oh, and the point was made, so our point was 4. Excellent. So let's bet a pass of 5. Establish a new pass line bet. Looks like we hit 6. We hit our point of 6. We get paid 5. Yes, I'm just going to test things out a little bit here. Say craps roll 1-1 just to make sure that that works. So we lost our $5. So let's do another craps bet. Pass, or sorry, come of 5. Craps roll 1-2 is also craps. That also works. Now let's say craps, got that on my clipboard, craps bet, comma 5. We'll say craps roll 6-6. So we'll simulate another craps roll. Excellent. Now let's do craps bet, come of 5. So we have a pass line bet, a come bet, and 4 come bets on individual numbers. So we have, let's see, we have 4 bets, 5 bets that'll lose and 1 that'll win. So if I do a craps roll 3-4, I should win, see, 5 that'll lose, 1 that'll win, I should lose 20. Yeah, so my come bet won, but everything else lost. And that cleared out all of the data structures there. Let's say to test some quick formatting, I'm going to add in a stream elements command. We've got craps bet pass. Let's do a craps bet come. And so, this is the command, and it shouldn't work yet because we're not on a point. You need a point first. So I will bet craps bet pass of 5. Then I'll place come bets, and I'll let stream elements place come bets, and we'll just test this this formatting here. So I got a point of 8. So I place my come bet, and stream elements will place its come bet. Let's do craps roll 2-2. So actually we've got Pixel with a $5 bet on 4, and stream elements with a $5 bet on 3. So test. Then we'll let this roll out and see how this works. I might just force rolls, so we don't have to wait the full 30 seconds here, but I'll let this first one go. To force a roll, I could just use the roll command with no parameters, and that'll force a random roll. So we have a point of 8, and we have come bets on the 4 and 6. And we 7 out. We both lose everything. Well, stream elements lost a little bit less because they don't have a bet on the pass line. I need to reset my balance before I deploy this for real, because my balance has been growing because of all the testing I've been doing. But it looks good. Let's take a look at the code and see where we're at. See, the logic to move stuff around seems like it's working just fine. The come bet data structures are being maintained properly. I'm going to delete this debug output. We don't need this function any longer. Let's go ahead and see where we are at. Let's see, the guide should be updated. So let's look up the guide. And now let's do a diff. Alright, so we've added our come bets data structures. Since we need to track come bets on all the individual points, we've added 7 new maps. One for the basic come bet, the original come bet that players make, and then one for each of the 6 points. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. We've updated available balance to accommodate come bets and all 7 of the data structures. We've added some functions to process come bets. We've got process come bet point that takes in the map we're going to process. First, we process winners for those. So anything that matches that is a win. And then we copy over all of the come bets from the main come bets data structure into that new data structure, into the specific point data structure, the numbered data structure. Then we clear out the come bets data structure. And here is our function for processing come bets. We handle a 7 out. So all come bets lose. Check to see if we have a come bet winner. 7 or 11 is a winner on the basic come bet. 2, 3, 12 is a loser. Anything else we move to their respective point. So we process the combet point for all of those, the 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. So we've added process combets to the die roll function. Then we've elaborated on this. This is the die roll logic. It determines whether we continue rolling the die or not automatically. And we've added in all of the available bets. I think just beforehand we had pass, don't pass, and that was it. So we've added pass odds, don't pass odds, and all of the combets that we've just added. We've added processing of the combet. We've moved D-pass check around. We've renamed odds point check to point check, so we can just use that directly for the combet, because you can't place a combet if you don't have a point. And we've added, or we've just moved D-pass check, and then we've added the combet to our guide. So yeah, this all looks good here. Let's go ahead and commit this. Add support for combet. The last thing I wanted to do is I've changed my roll delay to 30 seconds in my local configuration, my rolling delay, and that seems pretty good. So I think I'm going to change the template to also be 30 seconds. We'll use that as a suggested rolling delay. Anyone who deploys this on their own chat room can obviously change that to whatever they want, but I think 30 is a pretty good compromise. So we'll stick with that. Reduce default rolling delay to 30 seconds. I've also implemented come. And let's go ahead and push that. So the latest and greatest will be available on GitHub. For those who do wish to look at that code, you can go to github.com/queuedpixel /twitchcrapspot, and there it is. This is the guide. I'm just making sure that the guide shows up properly. The next bets, the immediate next bets I would do is the don't come. And that works very similar to the come. It's basically a duplicate of the don't pass. And the only restriction is you can't play it when you have when you don't have a point. However, I do kind of need to get going at this point. It's just past noon for me, and I need to grab lunch. I've got a meeting in a couple hours to get ready for. So this is a good stopping point for me. Before I wrap up, I will highlight when my next streams are. I plan to stream again on Tuesday, February 19th, so just 2 days from today. And then after that, my next stream will be Sunday, February 24th at 9 a.m. The Tuesday stream will be 2 p.m. My times are United States Pacific time, so bear that in mind when looking at your local time zones. And I'll see you Tuesday, February 19th at 2 p.m. Frosty says, take care. Thank you. You take care as well. Have a great day. And I will see you next time. All right, Frosty says you'll say I'll get the email sometime later. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I don't know when I'll have time to look at it, but I'll take a look when I get a chance. And do appreciate you taking your time on that. So yeah, it'll be good.